Alrighty, so I really felt like I wanted to tune into the women's collective consciousness just because, first of all, that's just been kind of what I've been feeling into the last couple of days. And I do know and I can see that a lot of women are waking up to their next level of healing. Like they're being initiated into their next level of healing, which is a very beautiful thing because it causes a ripple effect to everyone else and especially the men, right? And obviously, I know there's still a lot of women that need to catch up, but all in all, I do see that a lot more women are being like initiated into like this next level of healing. So I wanted to get into that and feel into that and see like how this is all happening. Yeah. So I trust that if you're here, you are probably a feminine who has been initiated into her next level of healing and you've been going through a lot of death and rebirth lately, or you're here because you're literally at like the brink of that. Like your journey into this initiation is about to start. So it's one or the other. And yeah, I'll basically talk about what you can expect and things like that because it is a collective thing, truly. Like I said, I've seen so many women go through it. Obviously, everyone's at different stages, but ultimately, we're all kind of heading to the same destination, which ultimately is going to do a lot of good for the world and for humanity and for ourselves as the feminine. So, yeah, many women are completing cycles of being small, not heard, not being seen, like always the good girl and people pleasing, always pouring into other cups instead of your own cup, not using your voice, not, you know, voicing your truth because again, we were silenced. We were always silenced and always told to shush and, um we're just being too overreactive and too emotional, right? So like a lot of women are healing that cycle and also healing like things like the witch wound in them. And it's a lot. I have been through this and I'm sure maybe there's more layers, but spirit is giving me a little bit of a break now, which I'm thankful because I did a lot of shadow work in that. Um, and yeah, because women are completing these cycles of being small, not being seen, not being heard, and clearing out a lot of shadows and distortions within them. When you do that, you actually come into balance within yourself with the inner feminine and masculine energies within. So a lot of you are actually rebalancing that coming into inner union. And again, if you're here and you haven't done this yet, like this is what you can expect, that you'll be coming into inner union, which is really truly a beautiful thing. I remember when I used to hear about inner union stuff, I was like, what? Like what is that? But yeah, when you heal those energies within you, you harmonize your whole system. You come into wholeness. And then you realize, like, wait a minute, like me harmonizing between those energies doesn't mean like I'm leaving my, feminine side behind or leaving my masculine side behind. It's literally just coming into union, right? Um, and not externalizing your power and validation to anything outside of you. So again, this connects to like, you're walking away from things that make you feel small, that you shouldn't be seen, you shouldn't be heard. You're walking away from that. You're choosing yourself, you're choosing your worth. And you're also, when you come into inner union, you actually don't need outer validation, right? Because a lot, like that distorted feminine needs validation, needs to be chosen by something outside of herself, whether that's a human or just something else, right? Like, for example, even just like being really good in the career that you're in. And if you're like too hyper focused on that, that's out of balance. And I know that some of you might say, no, 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 this is just like, it's a good thing. It's her, she's taking her power back. But it depends where it comes from, right? If it's coming from the ego side, the shadow side of like, I need to be seen and heard because this is the only way that I am considered worthy and like valuable in society, that is not good. Because ultimately, if you truly love what you do, you don't really care if you're like seen or heard by anyone, because it's not coming from the validation of those outer people. It's coming, it's like, what you're doing and what you're saying. Like, this doesn't mean to say that like you can't be seen and heard. It just means like, if you're really using your voice, your power, your creativity, your intuition, and you're doing something that your heart is telling you to do, you you feel worthy because of that. Do you know what I mean? It's not because you have X amount of followers or people like clapping for you. It's like, you clapping for yourself, spirit clapping for you is more than enough. And you just know that you're on the journey of building something or of doing something that is really fulfilling for you. That's like choosing yourself. And whether you get that validation from the outside or not, that doesn't matter to you. You're like, I know I'm in integrity, I'm in alignment, and I'm doing something that I absolutely love, and I feel like I need to be putting out. And again, whether that's accepted or not, it doesn't matter, right? That's a healed feminine, right? Because she can be this like top person, I don't know, in the company or whatever. But again, if it's not coming from an aligned place in her, it's always going to be like a void within herself, right? So, but see, that's where it comes into like rebalancing the feminine and the masculine within, because that's harmonizing those energies within, that's coming into wholeness, coming into radiance, where you're no longer seeking that outer validation. I do believe that some of you watching right now, you've come into that where it's like, I don't care about the validation. Like, yes, it's nice to receive if someone honestly, you know, likes what I say or likes what I do or likes what I create. Great. Great. Like, but I don't need it, right? That's a healed version of yourself. Um and in doing that, I actually am really seeing this part, and I think it's like so beautiful, that a lot of women are reconnecting with their sensuality, their feminine essence, and their creativity. And they're realizing that their power lies within their stillness and like co creating with that energy within. And it's not like they need to do or get anything. They're creating that internally, and that energy is just like radiating out of them and creating the things that they desire to see, that are in the highest good of all. And yeah, I've been really seeing this one. I think it's like so beautiful, because it's like these women are even like really starting to, you can tell when internally women have like reclaimed that their beautiful feminine essence and their sensuality. they dress differently. It's like that outer expression of what they feel internally, and I'm starting to see this like amongst my friends, and it's really beautiful, and they're tapping into their creativity and starting to create again. And it's like that is like an embodied powerful feminine essence, right? So yeah, and if some of you aren't there yet, then this is your permission slip to like start reconnecting to your sensuality. Like experiment with it, you know? Put on a song and don't dance in like a strict way. Let your body flow. Let your body like communicate with you, and just like go with the motion, and just trust that your body knows how to play with the music, you know? And then it's like even dressing, like putting dresses on that are way more flowy, or just clothes that are more, they allow movement, right? Because that is sensuality. That is like the feminine essence and flow. And coming back into creativity. So, like, what is your heart's desire to create? And it doesn't need to be perfect. You know, do you want to make bracelets? Do you want to paint? Do you want to whatever it is, honestly, whatever your heart is calling you to do it, because that's the like simplest and most beautiful way to connect with your feminine side. um yeah, and I was also feeling into that a lot of the feminines that are in this and that are healing and doing all this work, they are actually collectively weaving a new future for themselves and the collective, which will create harmony on earth. Like I mentioned this in like the last reading that I did for the masculines, and I was saying how like the feminine are leading the way. They are. It's always been that way, and it is what it is. Like that's literally, the feminine was always here to restore balance in humanity by reclaiming herself first, by reclaiming her feminine side, restoring back, because like again, as within so without, when you see what's happening in the world, and the world is feminine, the world, which is why we call it Mother Earth, it's, she's being taken advantage of, and there is, you know, this change happening, right? But when women can start doing that collectively and within themselves, it also ends up being a reflection on the outside. And so with women weaving in this new future, like it is tapping men in the shoulder to rise up as well, and you know, do their healing work as well. They're balancing, so the feminine is also balancing and harmonizing their desires and temptations within themselves. So this is mostly speaking to like the egotistic desires and temptations that put you out of harmony. A lot of women are just starting to realize like, wait, is this true for me? Is this true? Does this feel true in my body? Like, is this something I actually desire, or is it coming from a wounded place in myself that is seeking that external validation from the outside, right? So that kind of looks like letting go a lot of your desires go. And I actually went through this where a lot of things that I was after before have transmuted. Like I actually don't really care if I get them or not. Like, yeah, it'd be nice, but I'm not really concentrating on it. I'm more like, if this is for me and for my highest good and for the highest good of all, then beautiful. I'll accept it. But if it's not, I trust that I am aligned to my highest timeline, to my highest path that is, you know, the highest good for me and of this world. And a lot of women are starting to do that. Again, I'll repeat that, like, if you haven't gone through that and you're here, I just trust that you're here because it's like part of your subconscious and your soul is like preparing you for what you're going to go through. And it's not a bad thing. It's actually a beautiful thing. Like a lot of this is actually freeing. It's so freeing. And I know to some of you, like hearing some of this, there's maybe like a part of you that might be like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I want that. Like, I don't know if I want to let go of my, amazing career, or whatever I built for myself, or the desires and temptations that I have for myself. But trust me, like, it's so freeing. It's so freeing when you can integrate your shadows, come into balance and harmony within yourself. And then you truly feel like you don't even need external things before. Like, it might be that, like, this amazing career that you have, like, actually doesn't become fulfilling anymore because you're fulfilled within yourself, and then you start to understand what is actually fulfilling for you. So yeah, I know how sometimes this can sound like, wait, is this actually good? Yes. It is, because the ultimate freedom is always found within yourself. um but yeah, in harmonizing and balancing your desires and temptations, you're actually, like, when you do that, you're actually magnetizing the things that are totally meant for you, to you. When you can harmonize and balance your inner desires and temptations, and you're just like, listen, I release. If it's meant for me, then all good, and if it's not, then it's all good, right? Like, I trust that something better will come in. And when you do that, like, you become a super magnet for the things that are actually meant for you. um and yeah, that you're also creating healthy boundaries. So no more people pleasing, no more overextending yourself, no more pouring into other people's cups or other, you know places, until you are fulfilled yourself. um Also healing, like, what is it called? Is it called the sister wound? I'm not sure. If someone knows what I'm talking about, then they can, like, put it into the comments. But basically, instead of having this, like, subtle competition with other women, because again, that does come from the witch wound of not entirely trusting other women, because other women used to throw each other under the bus because they also kind of were forced to. That created a really not nice wound in us. So instead of competing with other feminines, a lot of women are starting to understand the power that comes when women can start connecting and collaborating with each other, and, like, the power and magnetism that comes from that. So we are healing that, like, witch wound slash, I guess, sister wound, and no longer, like, yeah, like, not fully trusting each other, wanting to compete with each other, looking at other women and seeing, like, their success as something like bad or evil. No, no, no. It, like, we're also healing that and alchemizing that wound, because again, that was placed upon us to keep us from being way too big, from, making sure that we are kept small. Because when someone is just doing something on their own, like, yes, you can create a certain amount of power, but it's never going to be as magnetizing unless we all come together and amplify that energy. So yeah, a lot of women are going to be healing that. There's From this, I actually believe that there's going to be way more collaborations happening amongst women and creating beautiful, powerful things for ourselves and the collective and humanity. Yeah, faded connections with others, finding and coming into divine sacred unions for like bigger missions and goals, and just to heal that wounding as well, right? I mentioned this before, that like this divine sacred union is happening, and it's happening because a lot of women are coming into inner union within themselves, and because of that, men are doing their work and coming into inner union as well. And yeah, that's like a next level type of love, which is truly, truly beautiful. um you're becoming more intuitive and spiritually tapped in, so you're cultivating your relationship with the divine, and you're prioritizing that relationship. Like, you're so devoted to that unseen part of you, meaning like the divine, and reactivating your spiritual and intuitive gifts. Just so powerful and so beautiful. Healing your shadows and alchemizing them. So, repatterning old beliefs, emotional trauma, past wounding and trauma, and ancestral pain as well. You're doing a lot of shadow work in order to come into this next version of yourself, into this like higher version of yourself. And yeah, that's basically all that I have for you. There's like a lot that is happening within the women's like collective consciousness, and I realize we're all on different journeys, and some women are further along and some are just starting this journey, and it doesn't matter where you are. All that matters is that you're being called to do this work, and that you are doing this work. And I trust me, I know it's not easy, but as you start healing and transmuting and alchemizing your pain and your trauma, and like repatterning all this stuff, coming back into your sensuality and creativity, you unlock such a beautiful next level version of yourself, which is just so healing for yourself and the collective. So, the numbers 2 and 6 were coming out. So, 2 have to do with partnership, balance, choices, and co creation. 6 has to do with healing, harmony, and responsibility. And so basically, yeah, the overall message was you're breaking free from old dependencies, and healing and integrating your shadows, reclaiming your sensual, creative, and intuitive power. You're aligning your desires with your higher path, and you're stepping into co-creation with partnerships and leaderships from a place of integrated wholeness. So yeah, that's what's happening with the feminine consciousness, and it's like amazing to see, and I'm honestly so proud to be a part of that, because like I can totally see we're all slowly like heading on that same path. And yeah, more women are just becoming more spiritually awake and doing a lot of work. Again, we're all on separate journeys in our path. Some are further along, some are not, and that's okay. And I actually think that's a beautiful thing, because some people that need help on their journey, they can always reach out to someone who's further along and be like, hey, I'm having a hard time integrating this shadow. And then someone can help you with that. Anyway, yeah, that's all I have for you. I think it's a beautiful thing. Let me know, feminines, let me know if this resonated with you, and how far along you are in your journey. Like, are you just starting? Are you, currently integrating a lot of shadows, which is a lot of death and rebirth? Or you're experimenting with your sensuality and your creative and your intuitive side? Like, whatever that is, share, please share, because for me, I've been through all these stages, but I'm really tapping back into, I think, like currently right now, I'm like tapping more into my sensuality, my creativity, my intuitive side, but like on a next level. Like I remember I kind of started with that, and then I went into like a lot of death and rebirth, healing ancestral pain, etc., etc. But now, like right now, I'm being asked to go into that next level of sensuality and creativity, and it's actually, it feels really good. It feels really fun. Anyway, guys, all right, I'm gonna leave this here. As always, I have my tip jar and my offerings and my services down in the description box below if you want to check it out. Feel free to. Other than that, I'm going to end this here, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.